Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Bitcoin, where we onboard the masses 5 minutes at a time so you don't have to. Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk about a buzzword that I keep hearing, and whenever we have times of turmoil or expected strife in our world, I hear this term a lot, and how it pertains to things like Bitcoin, banking system, markets, world affairs, social networking, everything. And that word is black swan. Black swan. Black swan. What is a black swan? Well, let's talk about the black swan event. Let's see. Wikipedia says a black swan event is an extremely rare, unpredictable occurrence with severe, widespread consequences that is often incorrectly rationalized in hindsight. Yep. Let's talk about that. Do you remember, well, obviously, if you're more than 6 years old, you remember the pandemic, the global pandemic, and the black swan that affected the Bitcoin market specifically. Bitcoin dropped 80% in no time. I'm not going to go into the exact details, but it dropped. Everything dropped around the globe. It was a black swan. Now, let's talk about that hindsight part. Well, in hindsight, you know, it would have been great if you had a short trade on, or if you could have bought the bottom. Hindsight's 2020. However, how does a black swan relate to Bitcoin? A black swan, the black swan theory, or theory of black swan events, is a metaphor that describes an event that comes as a surprise and has a major effect. Bitcoin was built for a black swan. Let's think about black swans. Right now, currently, we have a war raging in Iran. Do you think that the common person in Iran considers what's going on, what's affecting them today is a black swan? I think they do. I think that they think that that is a very rare occurrence, probably once in a generation occurrence, and they probably would consider it a black swan. It's affecting their local market. Their banks are closed. They can't get their money out. Their currency is toast. And it's probably hard for them to get social services, and a myriad of other issues are affecting them right now. So, what I'm getting at is that this term black swan with respect to Bitcoin, Bitcoin was built for a black swan event, and an indicator that we are early, or that people just aren't educated yet about Bitcoin, was the pandemic. There was no reason for Bitcoin to have dumped 80%. It should have gone, during the pandemic, Bitcoin should have gone to $500,000 a coin. But it didn't. And I think that's proof that we're early. And it's also proof that people just aren't educated. Their financial literacy is just, there's almost none. Which brings me to this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are getting anything from the series of videos that I've made on financial literacy, please consider hitting that thumbs up button, subscribing, and tapping that little bell icon for future updates. And also, please, if you've already been orange pilled, please consider sharing the channel with someone who you would like to orange pill, and I will be more than happy to drag them down the rabbit hole 5 minutes at a time, or 3 minutes at a time, or 12 minutes at a time. It roughly works out over the long haul to be about 5 minutes. So I would love that. It would help the channel immensely, and it would train the algorithm. If I could grow my channel, that would be great. So that's probably going to do it for me on talking about black swans today. Join me tomorrow here on 5 Minute Bitcoin. My name is Frederick Mann, and I'm going to remind you to dollar cost average, hodl, and self-custody your Bitcoin. God bless. This is a financial literacy channel, not financial advice.